Oh yeah, that's good shit. Yeah, Omni Man is one of the best characters ever. Hello, everybody.
And then I shoot him in the leg, and I was like, "Never come back here, you fucking."
Well done, comrade.
It'll be interesting because I have not because I had my chicken fried rice today. One of the few meals I eat that doesn't have cheese in it. We'll see what how I feel tonight. With
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, chicken fried rice. That sounds fucking good.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, guest host Mike Minotti's here. Yeah, he's here, everybody. Don't worry.
I'm back.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Mute that.
I got caught up on the podcast while I was on playing. That was a good moment.
That was
Yeah,
so
very
fucking
funny.
stupid.
You sound different. What happened to you? What's your mic situation?
Who, me?
It's a little
your mic
closer to his
sounds
mic or
different.
something. It's a little.
I'm
He's
literally
louder.
just holding my microphone right now because I had to move my computer for maintenance that needed to be done in my apartment, like the day that I left for Evo. So I haven't had a chance to move everything back yet. So yeah, I'm
You
just,
sound like
I'm
a
just chilling.
peaceful man now. You sound
I'm
like
just-
you went to war and came back.
Yeah, it's because I don't have the usually my mic is what do you call that? Where it's like suspended, like the shock absorber.
Mr. Kennedy,
Wait, the shock absorber.
Ju-
Right? Yeah, the shock mount.
the shock
Shock
master.
mount. Yeah. I have one of those usually, and so it like softens my voice a little.
Is there anything else that happened in Nintendo?
Well, Fox, I did not get that Pools Chipotle, but I did get the free
I won't take
Chipotle
my
during the
shirt.
finals. Shouts to Elijah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Sean?
I was just talking about the free burrito I got. It's pretty sweet.
Man, you lucky
Pretty
boy.
Oh man,
Free burritos.
let's go Chipotle.
That's the thing I most have in common with Paul Reichert
Shit.
is my desire to do just about anything for a free burrito.
Man,
That's the American dream, brother.
Yes,
right
it is, man. I tell you, there is the only time I truly feel at peace is when I'm eating a burrito alone.
hell yeah. I've been in a lot of wild crowds before, but nothing has ever been as wild as when we all got hype over the Chipotle ad that would play every time there was a break. We went fucking nuts. It started sarcastic, but by the end we're like, yeah, Chipotle. Yeah. Oh god, it's great.
So you get to watch the finals in person because they were sweet.
Yeah, I was in the arena, like right in the
awesome.
middle. Incredible.
So
view.
fun.
Oh.
I had
My
so much
little
fun
man
watching
almost
them.
got it.
Yeah, whatever it looked like on stream, it was 10 times better in person. It was incredible.
Okay.
That loser bracket man around was pretty fucking great.
It was.
Last of the
Him changing
Nintendogs.
between the look and the Blanca.
That match at the end there between Tokido and I forget who, in what losers finals or whatever. No, losers semis or whatever it was. That was amazing.
All right, enough of your small talk. We have to get going.
I think I'm ready. Let me just double check one last thing. Man, Californication is like all B pluses.
Good song.
Like the whole album is like just everything's like a B plus song, a few A minuses. I guess the first half of the album.
Californication is a good.
Oh yeah, I mean so
That's
is Other Side and Scar Tissue and Parallel Universe and Around the World.
I guess I'm not very familiar with the entire album. I must admit.
That's okay. Mike, I listen. I'm well
You're a
aware
fake
of
fan.
like you have
get it.
very particular choices of music, and it's fine.
Bad
I would
taste.
see that because because it's random. Like I like Rumors a lot, which is what seems adjacent to this in some way to me, right? Like I
Yeah.
can play every song in Rumors randomly, so I don't know.
I'm just saying
It's
that
it's like-
I'm
yeah.
just saying I'm not surprised to hear like you weren't listening to the
Sure.
entire Californication album. Like, of course,
That's
sometimes
true.
that happens. Yeah.
That's
Okay,
fair.
I'm gonna
Mike is
pause
like-
this.
Yeah, Mike is like 5 years from discovering Paramore now.
Man, Paramore. That's a band that is like
I always like Paramore.
I was
Paramore
definitely just too
defender.
old for it. It was definitely like it felt like
Yeah.
oh, this is what it's like when a corporation like decides we're gonna put together a band and that's what it felt like at the time. And then later I'm like, oh, this music's fine. But it was I was in that point where like, oh no, this just feels like someone's
What
serving
are
me
you
up.
talking about?
It's like oh,
Paramore-
They were on like the most ghetto ass label when they started.
Yeah,
and
I know,
everything, like-
totally. I just that's what it felt like. It just because of the way it got played on the radio, it just felt that way. None of it's rational or like accurate to what happened. It's just that's the way the music sounded.
You must have come in late or something when they were in there like more.
All right, now I don't even know what we're talking about. Let's go.
listen.
Oh my god,
Oh
Mikey ain't happy. I tell you what.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why did I ever tell you that?
Okay, I think we're ready. We got this.
Okay,
You got
10,
that.
9. There you go.
Oh,
you
wait a
do it.
second. He might not be ready.
No, I think I am ready. Well, nope, I'm not. Let me get this last thing, and then we'll be good.
There you go.
You didn't test the music yet.
Yes, I haven't tested the music. That's exactly right. Let's see here. Profile. That's the Nintendogs.
Hey, you guys hear me?
I hear it.
Start cheering now.
I hear it, mister.
All right, that means we could start in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I'm a Nintendog. I got there.
We are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, Jeff finds a way to mess up the intro anyways.
Shut up. It'll be fine if Christian's recording it.
Pokemon presented some stuff, and Red Dead Redemption's coming to Switch. Jeff, how's it going?
That's going pretty good. Yeah, I know the intro is quiet for video listeners. If Christian was recording it, we're fine. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it anymore. It's our first podcast. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm okay. I think I'm looking kind. I don't think I'm looking too good. I think with the bags
Wow.
under my eyes. I see myself on camera all the time. I'm like,
Aw.
I need to get more sleep. I think, and I don't know
Wow.
how, because I don't know. It's just like I got to do stuff, and then it's late all of a sudden, and then I got to get up in a couple hours. So
Well,
I don't know.
look, Jeff, we could all use more sleep for sure.
Yeah.
You look good. That always looks worse in the mirror because I
yeah,
will go by the mirror and I'll look and I'll be like, what the hell? And then I don't know. Like looking right now, like you're fine. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
bad.
fine.
I don't
You're
say
right.
bad.
It's
So I'm like,
fine. You're
it's
right.
Fine. I mean, look, we're all just, bags of protein and goo, and it's going to all deteriorate eventually. But I don't see anything offensive going on with your particular meat sack today.
Okay. Then the other thing is, I think the more I find out how much you hate apples, the more I like them. They are. I had a Honeycrisp today out of the fridge. It was so goddamn good. It was so good. I think I'm at a point where I don't like any other apples anymore, just Honeycrisps. Yeah, well,
they're all the same to me.
Of course, yes. No, I know that. I'm never going to be, Mike, I'm never going to be like, oh, Honeycrisps are the good ones. You should try that. We are well beyond that with you. I am aware. But boy, they're fucking good. They're so delicious. It really is like candy. Give me some. I've tried Cosmic Crisps. I've been saying Cosmic. I've tried that. They're pretty good. They're close to Honeycrisp. Not as good. Not as good.
So you're happy about this caramel or candy apple Pokemon that upsets me greatly.
Yes, absolutely. Give me more of those. Listen, all of the Pokemon seem pretty bad these days. I don't know.
They do. They do.
Yeah.
Can't even pretend that stupid candy apple Pokemon looks good, can you?
No, I'm not even going to be able to pretend. You're right. Although I love candy apples.
Look, I want to be clear. I don't like apples. I would never encourage other people to be like me, right? Eat your apples. Just don't do it around me.
Right. No, clearly. Yes.
And maybe brush your teeth before you talk to me. Chew some gum or something. You know what? I'm worried I'm a bad person lately. I mean, yeah, well, yes. But, everyone's like, oh, I feel so bad when my Pikmin die and it's rough. And I go out there, like 20 Pikmin get like eaten. I'm like, that's all right. I have 500 more back at the base.
I get there eventually. I start off feeling bad. And the first time a Pikmin dies and the soul goes up in the air, you're like, oh.
You have to do the little soul thing, don't they?
And it's really like if a Bulborb eats them, this might just be in the shorts, so I don't know if it happens in the games, but I feel like it happens in the games. Like, the soul like sneaks out of the nostril or whatever, so it's like it eats it and then it like shoots out of its like face or whatever. Like, oh my god, it's so graphic in ways.
We should take comfort in knowing that they have souls, and those souls are clearly going somewhere.
Yeah, they are going up and not down. So
that's nice.
Although maybe in hell or in Pikmin world, hell is up because heat rises. I don't know, but it's I do know that I get to that point. Well, maybe not like 20. If 20 die, I feel like I messed up. I'm like, oh, I gotta try. Although some of those fights later in the game, it's like, no, 20 are gonna die.
If I lose 20 Pikmin and it's of a type I don't have the Farlick for or whatever, then I'll we're rewinding time here. I messed up.
Yeah, totally.
Oopsie doopsie.
Yeah,
it's like a few, or if it's like a ton of one that I already, if it's like 50 red die even, I was like, well, whatever. I'm not gonna lose my time.
Again, the red are the soldier ones. Like, that's what they are the better fighters. So
what you're supposed to do.
Sometimes we're gonna lose a few. Yep, absolutely. And it's the game's made to like ramp you up slowly to that. If you're afraid of losing Pikmin in the early hours, you're just not gonna, it's easy to rewind and undo it very quickly. So it recognizes that, but yeah, I'm still glad that that's like the one pain point they haven't changed. Like, sometimes you just got to lose Pikmin.
Hey, it's August 8th, 2023. Thank you, everybody, for listening or watching. If you're with us live,
you decided you're going to start doing the date? Is that what you're...
Yes, I've decided. I don't know why. It's all of a sudden, I never thought about it.
If it anchors you?
I thought about it once.
Yeah, you thought about it once. That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I'm like, I should do that. And plus, it helps remind me that after our witty banter and before going right into the news, that I should remind people, if they're watching live, to send a super chat in. If they have any questions or comments, we will read all of them at some point live during the show. Please hit that like button. Helps more people.
Edward in chat says, I wake up to the sound of Pikmin dying. That'd be a really funny alarm.
That would be.
The kids have been watching me play, and they're back into Pikmin, and I will hear as they like take their Pikmin plushies and have them like carry things around the house, and it's pretty cute. So,
what do they think about the mortality of Pikmin?
They're against it, surprisingly. Not big fans, and if they ever see that, they would get although they get mad when I use the Pikmin to kill all the other meeps too. So, yeah.
Look. One of them's got to go.
It's coming right at me. What am I supposed to do?
Right,
and they're not always coming right at me, but that's what I say.
Well, Jeff, we have that Pokemon Presents today. Wow. So how exciting is that? A new a new show. This is basically a Nintendo Direct for Pokemon,
Basically a
right?
Direct. Yeah, exactly. So I'm sure a lot of super exciting announcements, and even the things that are the most exciting will be things we haven't heard before and now just got dates or just now coming out. So what happened?
All right, let's just say this right away. Somehow, actually, just no like real new video game announcements, which I guess isn't that surprising.
No, right. We were kind of talking about it, and before last week, and we gave our best case scenarios, and we did have this could happen, this could happen, but all throughout that, it's well, that sounds kind of early for that. It sounds kind of early for that. And now, in hindsight, looking at it, it's oh yeah, this was never gonna be that Pokemon Presents. It wasn't, and it wasn't.
It definitely wasn't. I mean, it's a lot of small stuff. I mean, I definitely was feeling kind of grumpy when I was up early in my bathrobe watching this thing, and they show this Pokemon Path to the Peak, which is a new animated series focusing on the trading card game, and it looks bad. And
I haven't seen anything from it.
Not for me, and that's fine. But even amongst what I expect from kids shows, I'm just and I'm just sitting there. God, like Stew Pickles, right, with the pudding.
Sure.
But the Detective Pikachu Returns got a new trailer. We already know that's coming. It has a date. It's October something. Jeff, I don't know. I like Pokemon. At least I used to like Pokemon more than I do now. I like detective stuff, and yet there is nothing I want to do less than play this game. I think I don't know why. I find it. I'll say this. I like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet look terrible, and I hate it, and I complain about it all the time, and I don't think it's acceptable, but I also understand, it's this big game, open world, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why this game looks so awful. It's just like a glorified, not visual novel, but basically just characters walking around talking to each other in smaller environments, and it looks like Garbo. It looks like absolute Garbo.
I guess I haven't taken too much of a look at this new Detective Pikachu game. I always had in my mind I should check out Detective Pikachu. That sounds fun, but it always seemed like the response to it was it's pretty middling, and so I had higher hopes for Detective Pikachu too, but doesn't sound like that's something I should maybe get my hopes up for. It just looks like bad graphics or what? Bad visuals?
The graphics are very bad. I think it's like you play a video game and you turn off all the shadows because you're desperate for more power, right?
Yeah. Okay.
There's no shadows. There's no textures. It's just
any ambient occlusion.
I don't know.
You probably safely say no.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. Yeah. None of that. It just So it just looks like there's Pikachu, I guess. He's got his gruff voice, whatever. I don't know. It does very little for me, but that's coming. There's another Pokemon Horizons. The series got a little trailer. This is like the next actual Pokemon anime after the Ash Ketchum one ended. So there's that. Pokemon Go is getting the Paldea region monster. So that is Scarlet and Violet. So Pokemon Go, I guess, is just caught up now with everything.
Man.
So yeah.
Really, so there are there 1,000 Pokemon in Pokemon Go, or are they select one for each one?
I don't know if it's all of them.
Right. Okay.
It's weird because when that kit first came out, it was a pretty small pool of Pokemon we were collecting. Back when it was at its most popular, it was a pretty small pool. Select Pokemon, says Sean.
Okay.
So they're still going to have drops coming, I'm sure. And this was, again, making me feel like a boomer that this is what I popped for. And we know these games were coming to NSO, but they announced that today we got Pokemon Trading Card Game, the Game Boy Color game, and Pokemon Stadium 2. For Nintendo 64. Those are now both available on the Nintendo Switch online service. Pokemon Stadium 2 is part of the expansion pack premium service there. I'm excited, more so for Pokemon Trading Card Game.
Same.
I liked that game a lot as a kid. I think it'll be fun. I don't know if I'm going to play through it, but it'll be fun to go back to that. I remember that and Capcom versus SNK and the Neo Geo Pocket Color. There's this small period of time where digital card games were pretty cool on these portable systems, and then that kind of went away, sadly, but it was always a fun little thing. I think
card mechanics just got incorporated to regular games after that. They didn't have to be we're going to make a trading card game and we're going to put that in a title. But I like this period because I like that idea, although I never played the Pokemon trading card game. It's the kind of thing, I like the idea of it. I always intended to check it out. So I will at least boot this up and see what's going on there.
Then they announced Mew and Mewtwo are coming to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They had a pretty elaborate trailer for this, considering like to get Mew, you just put in a code, get your Mew in one word in the mystery gift menu, right? And then Mewtwo's just part of a Terra Raid battle that's starting on September 1st. So I don't know, it was a really elaborate trailer for Mew and Mewtwo when it's just like, yeah, all right, yeah, we know those guys are here. That's fine, whatever. They're obviously big name Pokemon, right?
Right.
They're stars, giving the series a rub here. The real big thing here was a deeper dive into the first DLC pack, the Secret Treasure,
right?
Of
Teal
Area
Gardens
Zero.
or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah.
Teal Mask is like God, I can't even keep track of this stuff. Maybe Teal Mask first, but yeah, I'll double check this now. But yes, they showed off a lot of the expansion. And look, I will say that it looks like a pretty beefy expansion. There's a lot. It has its own Elite Four. It has its own new Pokemon. It's like this new school you're going to. The school appeared to have 4 nipples on the top. So that's interesting.
Yeah, 4 nipple school. That's one of those expensive private schools.
And I know people really liked the DLC, the expansions that Sword and Shield got. These do look promising. I'm sure everybody who likes Scarlet and Violet, of which there are many, are going to probably have a very good time with these expansions.
Is that why people were calling it Miltake Academy?
Oh, is that were people doing that?
Yeah, I saw that in chat today and on the for the
Man,
Bombcast.
I thought I was the only one funny enough to think that they looked like nipples on there.
Apparently, it's a thing on the internet now.
Right. Oh, Hidden Treasure of Area Zero is like the name for both expansions.
Yes.
It's like 2 parts. That's confusing. Teal Mask is the first part. Okay,
right.
And
September 13th
will be the second part.
Right. So
All
we're a
that's
month
my
out.
Confusion. The real Hidden Treasure of Area Zero is beside us all along. But I don't know. I mean, as somebody, I think we both fell off Scarlet and Violet pretty quickly. Does like the expansion do anything for you? Do you think about that? Is that something you want to check out?
What it does is what these kinds of things normally do, which is make me think. And I did think this while you were going over it. Maybe I should go back to Scarlet and Violet and like play the base game. No chance in hell I'm ever going to play the DLC though. That's not going to happen.
Maybe chat can help me here, but I mean, do you have to beat the base game before you can do this expansion stuff? How does that even work? Are you just going in there with your like already pretty powerful end game team? What exactly? Like, I guess I'm not exactly sure how this stuff works. I know it's kind of expand-alone-y, but I'm not sure how it ties into what you were already doing in the base game.
Yeah,
so I guess I'm curious about that. But again, it looks beefy. They are doing things there. There's 2 parts to it. So that's something. Sean says, I don't think we know for sure, but Pokemon DLC is historically post-game. Okay, that would make sense. But yeah, that's it. There's some like updates about like Pokemon Sleep and some stuff coming to the MOBA and like some of these other mobile games and who's what's it's right. Generally though, yeah, not a whole lot here. I feel a little silly, like this was disappointing. These Pokemon Presents are often disappointing. I remember the last one. I didn't think there was too much to it, but that's the way it is. I feel like they are happy doing these at a pretty regular cadence and getting their chance to show off what is coming. The DLC will be a big deal for a lot of people, and that's clearly still the focus here, is that and promoting these different shows. I think there's even like a 3rd show, like some other like web series. There's so many Pokemon shows.
Yeah, I mean, some of them like some of them are just on YouTube, they said. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's just, hey, for some of us, everything we watch is on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, right. I don't know though. It's fine. I'm continuing to feel a little like it's been happening since 3DS, but especially throughout this Switch generation, which I've generally felt better about Nintendo more than ever. Pokemon's weird to me because I don't usually fall out of love with video game franchises, right? Like the things I liked when I was very young, like a Mega Man, a Mario, Zelda, or a Sonic, those things continue to still be important to me. And there are generally usually going to be games there that speak to me. Pokemon was something, I was really red hot on for a very, very long time. And it just generally doesn't hit the same way. And I think I talked to you about this before. I think that instead of trying to grow with their audience, like, in terms of maturity, they have a lot more success, and it's smart to just keep being a game aimed at 10-year-olds. and younger, maybe a little older, and there's always new ones of those every few years, and then they will buy it, and a lot of those older fans will come back to it too, so it keeps doing really well. I can't really fault the strategy, but I do bemoan a bit the lack of interest it evokes from me these days.
Yeah, I think I kind of hope that the Legends series gets to a point where it's good enough to be like, this is for that audience that stuck with us, and now they're a little bit older, but even that's not quite there yet, although I do like it quite a bit.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm very curious. I'm curious to see what the next Legends will look like. I'm curious to see what the black and white remakes are going to look like.
Sure.
It's going to happen at some point.
Oh yeah.
And that's, we had this one after this DLC comes out. It is going to be like, all right, well, now what's next? It will be time. How long has it been between generations for a while now? 3 years. 3 years. It's hard to believe we'd be like a third of the way there already, but maybe. But yeah,
probably they'll stick to that, but we'll see.
But there will certainly be either the next Legends or Black and White remakes or Let's Go or whatever coming out fall 2024.
If the next one is 3 years from Scarlet and Violet, and so we'd be there basically in 2 years.
2025.
2025. Yeah. Is that a Switch game or a Switch 2 game?
That's a Switch 2. Yeah,
well,
I see what you mean.
Everything would be a Switch 2 game except for maybe Pokemon.
That's yeah, but what needs to be a Switch 2 game?
For real? No, totally.
Right. No, it'll be. I mean, look, even on like, the handhelds, right? It's not like they would hold back on that. They would move to the new thing, even if it's a smaller install base. And they're able to do that because generally the new Pokemon generation isn't going to be a year one kind of a thing. Year two is even kind of a little early for it, but maybe this will do it. Maybe for once they will take an extra year because they'll know we'll have things like Legends in the Black and White remake. Who knows? They haven't gone away from the 3-year cycle in a while.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, the other news story here this week, Red Dead Redemption is coming to Switch and PlayStation 4. That is on August 17th. It's going to come with the Undead Nightmare, sort of a standalone expansion. I guess it's not so standalone anymore. Jeff, these are basic ports are going to cost $50, which might seem like a lot for these. What is your read of the situation? There were rumors of Red Dead Redemption coming, and another big takeaway here, no PC version.
Yep, it's I mean, it's cool. It's coming to Switch. I like that. This definitely feels like, I mean, people are mad about this because it's the bare minimum, and it really is. But also, it's like, to me, it's kind of better than what they did with Grand Theft Auto, which was less than the bare minimum because it was worse. It had detrimental effects on it, and
let's say they put in effort, but the effort made things worse.
Yes, the effort was bad. Yes, and so I like a straight up port to Switch and PlayStation 4, so effectively the PlayStation 5. Yeah, I guess that's fine, but I don't know. I can't imagine people getting too excited about this because this is something like, if you really wanted to play this, it's been there on Xbox for years with the upgraded features. In a lot of ways, better features you're going to get even from this port. So
right.
I don't fully understand what they're thinking they're doing here, other than I guess they're going to sell it for $50, which is a pretty high price for a port for an Xbox 360 goddamn game. But it's Red Dead Redemption, so I bet it'll sell pretty well still. It's not going to be millions and millions of copies, but they'll make money on it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Red Dead Redemption 1 a lot. That was one of my favorite games of that era, and there's a part of me that's like, oh, it'd be really fun to play this on my Switch. Then I think about it a second. It's like, no, I would definitely like playing this with backwards compatibility on the Xbox Series X or S much more.
I played that version in the early days of the Xbox Series X, and it's so good. The auto HDR was great. It runs so well. Now it's at 30 frames per second, but it's 30 frames per second in this ported version as well. So you're going to be able to play this Red Dead Redemption game that you're going to pay $50 for, and you're going to boot it up on your PS5, and it's going to be 30 frames per second. I mean, that's just, I get that that's the way the game was made, but they got to be able to fix that. And it's still not on PC.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing, is that this isn't coming to PC yet. And some people are like, well, maybe because they are doing a bigger remaster or remake or something for PC. Maybe. It's just so confusing. It's weird because, Red Dead Redemption doesn't need too much for me. I'm okay with it looking the way it did. It was a very good looking game for the time. Presentation was good. You know, I'm not expecting them to go in and replace every texture and redo every character model. It would be nice, and frankly, they probably get a return on their money. It's Red Dead Redemption. That would do. In a world where we remade The Last of Us Part 1 for seemingly no reason, I don't know why we couldn't also do this. It's a bigger game. Is it a bigger? It has to be a bigger game. It's open world. Sure, we'll say it's a bigger.
I mean, it's
game.
Larger in size. Yes, definitely.
But I basically would just actually want like some slight improvements. 60 FPS.
I mean,
would be chief among them, but you know that's not happening.
Like it's got 100,000 downvotes on YouTube and 35,000 likes. So it's getting crushed. People are not happy with this. I mean, again, it's not the worst thing that Rockstar's done in terms of remastering their games, but I get it. Like, especially if you're like sitting there with your PS5 and be like, why would I ever get this thing for my PS5?
It's weird that Rockstar has become bad at that, right?
Yeah.
Here's a company of all these beloved older games going back.
It's a bad sign, right? Like
Right.
I think it signifies that there's something wrong, rotten in Denmark, however the fucking saying goes. Like if
that fucking saying from Hamlet.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit Shakespeare. Like
Macbeth. Don't come at me. It was Macbeth.
There you go.
Correct myself.
He corrected
Wait,
himself.
I think. Shit. Now I'm scared.
No, let's let him...
I'm going back. I'm going back to Hamlet now.
Okay. All right. Is that your final answer?
God damn it! I took a course on Shakespeare. I'm going with Hamlet.
Okay, final answer. Fantastic. But like the Warcraft 3 Reforged, right? Like,
God.
that told the story of what was going on at Blizzard at that time a little bit. And
It did. You're right.
And they needed Vicarious Visions to kind of come in and make sure Diablo 4 was going to be a-okay, like actually good. But before that happened, like Blizzard was going bad in a lot of ways, and that was reflected in World of Warcraft. But it was really Warcraft 3 Reforged. You look at like, this studio should know better than to put this game out, and the fact that they didn't is a bad sign. And so Rockstar sort of kind of lackadaisically treating these old ports as like not much more than just ports. This is a 13-year-old game. You could have done more.
Right, exactly. And you're talking about Blizzard, and you know, I know we bemoan, I'm using that word a lot today, them kind of absorbing Vicarious Visions and taking away its identity a bit just to work on Diablo stuff, but in these remakes, but man, that sure did help compare Diablo 2 to Warcraft 3 Reforged. It's like Rockstar needs a Vicarious Visions, and there maybe just aren't a lot of those out there.
Yep, and and these days, like you can probably work anywhere and get similarly, you probably get better paid than even working at Rockstar. And Rockstar is going to be like this big, long, arduous process of
have fun working on Grand Theft Auto 6 for the 10 years of your life.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that's not too appealing, I think, to a lot of people with a lot of talent, and they're in high demand. So I could see that like Rockstar's probably just in a little bit of peril right now. They're making a lot of money, of course, obviously from Red Dead Redemption, from Grand Theft Auto Online. But then figuring out these other things that should be simple, the fact that they're going wrong, it's a bad sign.
There's, other games of theirs that if they did a remaster or remake right now, people would be happy. People always bring up Bully when this happens. I never played Bully. I'd like an excuse to play Bully. Why not?
I'm gonna play the Wii version of Bully. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go. What was that called? So,
I think it was
Scholar Edition.
Oh yeah, there did have a subtitle, didn't it?
I don't think it had a subtitle, but not one that would like made you think of Waggle.
Scholarship Edition.
Yeah. But there's Bully on the Wii, sure. Bring Chinatown Wars to Switch. Come on, like what's going on?
Yeah, and that's you put that game out for $20. I would buy it for $20. Hell yeah.
But yeah, so that's the going ons in Nintendo land, Jeff, right now. I think we got a couple super chats we can read before we take a break here. Would you like to do that?
Yeah, definitely. T-Bucket23 says Bulburbs are meeps. We got to do is you got to ask yourself, do they have eyebrows? No. So then that's a check mark for the meat column. And then do they have a nose? Bulburbs have it's a proboscis. There's something prominent there that's kind of like sticking out, but it's not like there's no like definitive nose shape. So they're meeps, I'm pretty sure. But I could double check with Addie tomorrow when she wakes up.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
And then Huey F. Newton says, Mike, if you like detective stuff, there's always Danganronpa. Just play it chapter by chapter.
Yeah, look, I want to play Danganronpa. It's not happening this year, right? No, this year is way too packed. It's been pretty incredible.
How detective stuff is it?
I think that Danganronpa is pretty detective-y.
It's very detective.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I was those games are on sale now on Steam, all those visual novels. So if you wanna get them now,
That's right,
Well, here's what I want to do. I want to get 2 trench coats and put it on my friends and make a series on Giant Bomb called Danganronpa. So maybe early next year we can start doing that.
That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be
what
pretty
do you
good.
think Dan is gonna make of Danganronpa though?
he might like it. He likes anime,
Yeah,
so he might like
I
it.
think maybe Jan will have to play, but yeah, I think forcing Dan to like help him, that could be fun.
Yeah. Dan just told me how he doesn't like Group of Thing because of all the talking.
Yeah, but I think he just that gets in his head. No, you're right. He's a bad person. But
Yeah, this is not human.
Still, Dan Rampa is a good, or Dan Jan Rampa is a good name. So
And that is a very good name, and we should just do content based on how good the puns are. For sure.
That's the entire business model at Giant Bomb. Absolutely.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That does it for the super chats for now. If anyone wants to send any more, we will get to all of them before the end of the episode.
All right, let's take a quick break here, and then when we come back, we got some questions from the community, and I imagine we will talk a bit about how much we continue to like Pikmin 4.
Yes.
Stay tuned, everyone.
Okay. You good?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I think that's just something stuck in my throat.
Do
Something
not-
being water, I guess. I don't know.
Got him.
Okay, let's
Oh, man.
see here.
Yeah.
That's
you're
going.
Oh
gaming.
yeah, questions. We're doing questions from the people.
The people have
It's
questions.
I'm
I'm sorry.
Whoa, the
You're not
link is on podcast stuff, by the way, for the thread.
Cool. I'm getting there now.
Wanna
Mute
pick it up?
Discord. Mute that.
Turn around every now and then. Mike gets a little bit lonely, and he found out around. Dang.
All right.
It is, yeah.
I'm good whenever you are, Mike.
All right.
I'm good.
What?
I'm good.
Yeah, so bring it back in whenever you're ready.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was like coughing something up silently, and then I was going to tell you I'm good.
Oh, okay. I
I'm
didn't.
telling you I'm ready. Sorry.
Yes,
I get
gotcha.
it. You thought I was doing the pause for Christian. Now we're doing the pause for Christian. And we are back. It also just occurred to me that it is my job to read the questions for us in Nintendogs, but don't worry, I actually know where those are every time, unlike Jeff.
I'm looking at them right now. Dear Jeff, enter Sideboot Grubb, and Mike, today's co-host, Minotti. How do you all put up with
Who's
Mike's
this from?
mistakes and
Who's
wrong
saying
opinions?
Who's saying this?
I'm gonna say it at the end. I realized. Don't worry. Ask you for a friend. That's from Always Be Clothing /Corgi.
What wrong opinions? What mistakes? My mistakes? Jeff did the wrong podcast intro last week. And after that, halfway
Mine are
through
easy to deal with. They're fun.
But mine are a big problem.
Yeah, they're big problems. I'll think of one. Give me a second.
Mine's a big problem. Yeah. Today's co-host he even references that. No, my opinions are always fantastic.
I saw someone got upset with us because we just mentioned how awkward it is that these games, older games, were so obsessed with boobs and cleavage. They're like, I've never heard men complain about boobs so much in my life. It's like, chill out, guy. We're just joshing over here. It's okay.
Yeah, calm down. It's clearly it's in reference to Mortal Kombat 9. Like watch that. Watch what we were doing in Mortal Kombat 9. Watch what the girls in Mortal Kombat 9 are wearing. Tell me that, like, oh yeah, this is just normal stuff.
Yeah,
Dang, it's like the downfall of civilization.
Yeah, right.
Or it's a
It's
problem we have to like
criticism.
be worried about now. But I'll tell you what, it ages that game in a very specific way.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not saying I even hate. Look, I think the first things I screamed was, Jade's hot.
Yeah,
I think she
exactly.
is.
Yeah.
But she's also ridiculous, and I'm gonna have to kind of point and laugh a bit.
Yeah, both are true.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I am doing this now again. Evo Janice says, all right, top 3. He's got some top 3s here. Let's do these in order. Favorite open world Zelda. Oh, I see. So what's your favorite open world Zelda? There's only, I guess, 2 of those now. So
I guess we would say 2. Yeah. God, the favorite word is going to throw me off here. I will probably say Tears of the Kingdom, but I think Breath of the Wild is more important to me. Not to cop out, Tears of the Kingdom. That's my answer.
I think Breath of the Wild is more important to the gaming industry, but it's pretty easy for me to say Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
Just overall. Okay. Oh, interesting. Now, second favorite 3D traditional Zelda. So not your first favorite, your second favorite 3D traditional Zelda.
Okay.
This is hard because it's so like Wind Waker is so obviously my number one that I never actually think about which is like my next one after that. Because almost all the other ones to me like have a problem or just kind of not like it might actually just be Ocarina of Time.
I think it might be Ocarina of Time as well. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
It has to be.
I think it probably is Ocarina.
I wish I could say Twilight Princess because it has some fantastic.
I'm
dungeons,
like right there with
but...
Twisted Princess, with Twilight Princess. But I think I probably would give Ocarina the edge right now. It's weird looking back. Like I loved Zelda, or I love the Zelda games, but like. I actually don't know how much I love many of the 3D Zelda games. Like they kind of go up, they fluctuate, in my opinion, a lot of times.
And then your third favorite, top-down Zelda.
This is actually easy for me.
Okay, go ahead. Well,
A Link to the Past, because my favorite is Link's Awakening, and my second favorite is Link Between Worlds. So Link to the Past is my third favorite.
Mine might be Link's Awakening then, actually.
That sounds right. Yep.
That or Minish Cap. I'd probably say Link's Awakening because I think Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds are probably like 1 and 2 in some order. I actually played Link to the Past again not too long ago. I would like to play Link Between Worlds again. All right, thank you, Evo. That was fun. Dr. Ryan says, still trying to learn the Game S lore. Grubb, what exactly is the definition for a meep? Hey, look, how about this? We're just kind of, it started as lobsters. Lobsters were meep.
Like lobsters and crabs are like
OG
1A and 1B OG meeps, yes. And then
crustaceans.
Yes, crustaceans are it. And you can see in chat, that's what people were responding with the emojis there. She is like, refine it down to pretty much mean if it has eyebrows, it's not a meep. If it has a nose, it's not a meep. She also likes the beady eyes. So like if like a shrimp has like those black beady eyes, or she like really likes the white Pikmin because the white Pikmin has the beady eyes and the pink Pikmin has the beady eyes. That helps a lot too. But in general, no eyebrows, no nose. You're probably a meep.
All hail Glorbo, says Mr. Grubb, and whoever this week's co-host is. When are we getting a Mystical Ninja remake, or at least an NSO port? We talked about this before, how neither of us really got into those games, but I would love to see those ported, either NSO. I know there's a bunch we never got over here
right
from the 16-bit, but we got one of the 60-bit ones. We got the Nintendo 64 one here. Like, yeah, throw those on NSO. They should
put those on NSO. I would love that. That would be fantastic.
I would love to try those again.
Yeah. I rented it a bunch of times for N64, and I just never understood it, really. So, yeah, I would like to give it a shot now.
That is definitely just a series that should get a collection that like localizes a bunch of those for the first time or something like that. That would be a lot of fun.
That's another thing I want to do on Giant Bomb, like that foreign exchange program where we play games that either didn't come out here or were so Japanese or something like that, and that would be a good candidate for that.
Like Terranigma.
Man, you just love living risky.
I'm good with it now.
Playing with fire, ladies and gentlemen. Playing with fire.
Axe Alotl Adam says, "Dear Jeff, I believe in a thing called Grubb. Just listen to the rhythm of my heart." And Mike, love me tender tendies, Minotti. Which color of Pikmin is best? I'm all about those rock motherfuckers.
I'm a purple big boy. Give me big boy. It's big boy season, big boy summer. Give me the purple Pikmin. Although I like the rock guys a lot too.
I haven't actually used the purple too often. I haven't found their Flarlick yet, actually. So got lots of rock boys. I haven't done too much with the purples.
I don't get too. I just do the thing where if I lose one of those, the ones I don't have the onion for, then I just rewind. So I take them out with me all the time, and they're so useful because they can lift so much. So yeah,
that makes sense. Bugatillo says, "Hey, big dogs, it seems like speculation season for the Switch has begun. For fun, give it a score 1 out of 10 for the following features being included: 1 being never going to happen, 10 being guaranteed." All right, Jeff, I'm gonna let you do the numbers, and unless I wildly disagree with you, I will chime in here. Motion controls,
10.
Dual screens,
3.
Yeah, I think that's right. Built-in microphone,
4.
Stereoscopic 3D,
2.
A headphone jack,
5.
A built-in stylus,
4.
I'd go like 3 or 2 for that. A model without a cartridge slot.
7.
Joy-Cons with the Hall effect.
5.
What's that mean exactly? Help me out.
So we have a mechanical joysticks that where it's like you move the joystick to the side and there's a little like pull system in there where it's like it could tell where you're pulling, and that's how they translate your inputs. The Hall effect is a magnetic field, and basically the short answer here is they never drift. That's what the Dreamcast used.
Right.
Dreamcast controllers have not drifted yet.
You gave that a 5, okay?
Because Nintendo could go either way, I think.
Yeah, a built-in camera.
I'm gonna go with 6. That feels like the kind of thing that like they haven't done that in a while, and that might be the gimmick.
A SIM card slot for 5G.
2.
Back/paddle buttons.
8.
Yeah, I think I would like to see those back paddle buttons. It's like such an easy thing, but that's what I would pop for, is having some of those.
And I think it's an easy thing at this point for them to be like, why would everything else is doing it? Why wouldn't we?
Yeah. Chaos Buckaroo says one of the several reasons the Nintendo 64 had pretty much no RPGs was the memory limits on the cartridge. Can you all think of any other instances where an entire genre was largely absent from a console for technical reasons? I mean, like Saturn wasn't very good at 3D games, but I don't know if you call 3D games a genre. So that was like, it was a kind of a problem with those games, and yet they kind of were able to work around it sometimes anyways. Yeah, that's an interesting question.
I'm like, there's definitely examples, but it's like, I don't know. It was mostly back then when that would happen. And a lot of times they found ways around it. Like, yeah, like, you're right, Saturn was bad at 3D, but they came up with other techniques to put Tomb Raider on Saturn. They just like figured it out, and it was like, actually, they used a lot of the 2D acceleration to make that happen.
I think if the Dreamcast lasted longer, it would have had a hard time with first-person shooters. I know they like made it work with Quake 3 and things like that, but let's say a world where the Dreamcast did coexist with all those other consoles, and it was the one that didn't have a second analog stick, that would have been rough, but that didn't really come to pass.
Yeah. So I'm going to think about this question a little bit, and I'll see if anything else occurs to me.
I don't think there's anything like what happened in Nintendo 64 and losing all those RPGs because they're all doing videos. I mean,
if there's anything like that, it's other games for the N64 for PlayStation that didn't make sense on the N64 because like too much voice acting or whatever, or like FMV games and shit like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Hosp says, "Hey, dogs! With Red Dead finally announced, for the Switch is getting some ridiculous ports alongside Arkham Collection and Metal Gear. Are there any ports you want to see or expect prior to the next generation? Give me Shadow of Mordor. Yeah, give me some Ridge Racer. I don't care. Ridge Racer 7, the PlayStation 3 one. Port that to Switch. That'd be great. I'd be happy. Whatever. I want a freaking Ridge Racer. Or Split Second. Give me 60 FPS Split Second finally.
Yeah, John Drake.
Yeah, John.
I don't know. It's like these ones are always so weird. Like the Batman one's like so out of no. I mean, we heard that rumor for years, but still, it still feels out of nowhere. I don't know. Epic Mickey.
I actually wouldn't say no. That'd be kind of funny.
Why not?
Yeah, why the hell not? Mickey 2 would be easier because they made that one for other consoles, so you can, that wouldn't be too bad. Bopper's Gate 3 says, "Woof woof to my dogs. I'm going to shoot my shot and say that the Pokemon Presents tomorrow is going to be pretty mid." He said this yesterday.
Got it right.
It's actually good. Laugh at me, ignore my question, and move on. You're correct. However, if it is mid, my question is, with Jedi Survivor changing course and making an Xbox One / PlayStation 4 version, could this have coincided with EA getting Switch 2 dev kits and seeing its capabilities? Do you think Survivor will get a Switch 2 port as well? Maybe near launch. I posited this very scenario to you, Jeff, as basically my only like mental explanation for why the hell they're porting Jedi Survivor back to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 when the game is doing not very well on like PlayStation 5.
I mean, the other answer here is still one that would probably lead to the same development of them putting it out on those systems and Switch too, and that is during the process of trying to update it, they stumbled on whatever their problem was and fixed it, and the optimization was such a huge gain. They're like, this could even run on the PS4 and Xbox and whatever Nintendo does next. So we'll see.
Hired Source says, "Hey there, Jeff. Kids Choice Cheese Pizza, Grubb, and Mike. not the bees, not my face. Not killing me won't bring back your damn honey. In terms of overall design decisions, what do you want to change the most in the follow-up to the Switch next year? I hope on a software level, they maybe have a bit more fun with things like the UI. I want themes back. I want, some more music to be playing here and there, right? Like, if I decide Metroid's my favorite Nintendo franchise, I want my whole Switch experience to be able to be very Metroid themed, right? So in terms of that, I'm really hoping. In terms of like the hardware, I'm pretty easy. I don't even need the grips, right? I just hold those Joy-Cons raw in bed all the time, and I feel pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I don't need too much form factor wise.
Weren't you having hand issues like a month ago or something like that?
But like the Switch never bothers it. It was the mouse a little bit.
Okay.
And
That's
like holding my
that's not like a wrist thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of like things that bother me about like the Switch that I would want changed, there's not much. I think the Switch is probably my favorite system ever. And I wouldn't change much about it.
Jeff, it's like I'm starting to think about this stuff more because we probably are getting kind of close to the end, and yet the end is still ridiculous. Games I wasn't even expecting to care about, like Pikmin 4 being amazing. I was like, yeah, damn. This is it. This is the new best one. It's like I would never allow myself to think that way. Says, well, it's still current. Who knows? It's already like, no, this is already it. We're there.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Kevin in chat says make the same screen size but make it 1080p. I'm always going to be like, you're not going to see much of a difference there. You'll see a little bit of difference in text, but beyond that, you won't notice much difference at a 7-8 inch screen size. But I wouldn't mind if they did like a 16:10. Screen instead of a 16:9, and a lot of games will probably be ported and still just be 16:9, but just being able to like maybe like quickly pull up a 10% of the screen thing that can give you some quick information about like what's going on with your friends, or like where you could check the time without having to like leave the game or whatever. I think that would be pretty cool, or something like that. That's the screen ratio that the Steam Deck uses.
I would like shoulder buttons, especially the triggers, to be actual triggers.
Oh, yeah. If they were analog triggers is actually the biggest thing, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
And make them like the GameCube ones again. Make them clicky at the end.
Sure.
I like that. Bring that back.
I'm for it.
All right. Next up is Mr. Bowler saying, hey, Nintendogs, as we all wait on pins and needles for the release of the Borderlands movie, it's easy to forget that the ever-creative Hollywood studios have already greenlighted a number of other movies based on video games. So if that said, it's time to play send one to theaters, send one to streaming, and send one to development hell with these 3 real green-lit projects: untitled Saints Row film, untitled Just Dance film, and untitled live-action Pac-Man film. Well, I say that the Just Dance film has to go to theaters.
I was going to say the same thing. I actually really think that too. I think it would do fun. Yeah. I think it would do really well.
I want to see that.
Get Julia Stiles in there, be like, step up to the streets, Just Dance edition.
Yeah, I'm all about that. I want that live action Pac-Man movie to streaming, and I have no faith in a Saints Row film. You can just send that to development hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I like a crime film is such a different thing than a open world crime video game. Like the tones couldn't be more different from what I want anyhow. Like I want Goodfellas, and I want, Casino and things like that. I want, a Scorsese film, and an open world crime game, like whether it's Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row or True Crime Streets of LA, those just feel like Funhouse mirror games. So yeah, Saints Row can go to hell. The movie.
I watched a movie yesterday.
Maybe that's why you're not feeling well.
Maybe I got sick from that. Yeah. I finally saw one of these movies people can't stop talking about. I finally watched Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
You piece of shit.
That was pretty good. I kind of liked it.
Fucking.
I think it was the best Transformers yet.
Have you said? Did you ever see Bumblebee?
No, I didn't see Bumblebee, and I should.
Okay.
Let me. Good.
I did get mad though, because early on some kid came in, because like it's set in 1994. So like some kid came in like wearing a Power Rangers shirt and playing a Game Boy, and he's like, "Oh man, I just can't beat Bowser." And I had to turn over to my friend and say, "This is bullshit.
Yes.
Bowser is not in Mario Land 1 or 2, I've been mad.
Is there any Game Boy game? Did they show a game?
No, they didn't show.
Is there any game where you could say that? Like, I don't think there's any game.
Game Boy from 1994.
Right, exactly.
If he's playing the new Donkey Kong, it's not that.
Right.
It's not Mario Land 1. It's not Mario Land 2.
Is there like a puzzle game where he's like one of the characters that you can select or anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
So I think it's just pretty sloppy writing.
I would have felt the same way. That's
yeah. I don't know. I liked Res of the Beast. It was dumb fun. There was a sexy Autobot in it. I liked that.
Was it? It's the lady. Isn't it the lady from the Transformers the movie from the 80s?
Yeah, I think RC. I think it's her.
So.
Although, well, they have her and Unicron's kind of brought up. Although it seems like he can maybe come back and be a bigger deal. I kind of wish they would.
Wasn't he in one of the previous live action movies? I don't know.
Is he? That'd be fun. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how it all works, but Unicron was there. But I wish we had Cup and Hot Rod from Transformers. I liked
for
Cup.
sure.
Remember Cup? He's like the grizzled, gruff one.
Yeah,
Cup
love
was
him.
fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that movie. That's a good. I liked just compare because I saw the first 3 Transformers. I liked that Optimus Prime was actually a character in this one with an arc. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, it's new for one of these Transformers movies actually having character arcs. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's the human in this one? Is Mark Wahlberg still there?
No, I don't.
No, God, no. It's this newer kid.
Oh, it's the guy. It's Anthony Ramos from. Wait, is it still Anthony Ramos from fucking Hamilton?
Oh, did he play?
He played the son, and he played his.
I think you're right.
His best friend or whatever. Yeah, the one that got killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was. Oh God, no, it's been a little bit. I can't remember. But yes, exactly. That's okay. All right. Anyways, I had fun.
Wait, so you haven't seen Oppenheimer or the brilliant new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie or Spider-Man Across the Universe?
I was going to see TMNT Saturday, and I didn't feel well, so I didn't go with my brother.
Okay.
I'm afraid. Right. I want to see Oppenheimer and Barbie. I don't know. I haven't been going to the theater very much lately. So.
I've been every time I'm like I will try to make time for Oppenheimer and like I'll just go after the kids but it's like there's too much going on and I just don't have any time. So I got real excited when I saw that Across the Universe is home now, so I'm gonna watch that this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either actually. So if that's home, I could maybe actually watch that because I did want to see it and just also missed that one. All right, Jackie G says, oh wait, by the way, yeah, I'm not his friend that thinks that the new Turtles like aren't cool enough.
I clarified. It wasn't you. I clarified.
I will say there's a little bit of that, but I'm like not going to ever voice that complaint. There's a bit of it's like I think I do like it when they're a little older and a little more. I don't know. I guess it's weird to me because I used to watch the Turtles.
You just like teenagers that are cool adults. And fuck and all that stuff. That's what you need.
I guess until this movie, for some reason, I had never thought of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as being significantly younger than me. Even though they're teenagers in there, that actually just never occurred to me.
Mutant Ninja Turtles says Turbo Sean. AMNTs.
But to be clear, yeah, I don't actually have that complaint. I'm very excited to see that movie. All right, Jackie G says, "All right, you beautiful little buggers." Mike, are you thinking of continuing your replay of the Final Fantasy games after you finish the Pixel remasters? Recently played through the Switch version of 7, and blimey, that's a cozy game with the quality of life achievements. I thought about it a little bit, Jack. I'm not like crazy about the Switch versions of the PlayStation 1 games. I don't like how they try to smooth out the rough edges of PlayStation 1 graphics. I like the rough edges of PlayStation 1 graphics. So if I did do that, I would maybe like look to emulation and some of the mods that do things like maybe, some of the translations, especially Final Fantasy 7, aren't great. And I do like that quality of life stuff, so I would maybe do that. So I'm not sure. My guess is probably not super soon. Anyways, I'll probably play 6 and then be happy for a bit, at least in terms of like really being super chronological about it. Because honestly, I do want to play 9 especially again because it's been a while and that was my favorite of them. Benji Turbussi says, "Hello, you ugly, disgusting, smelly little buggers. Jesus, how would you best describe the taste of a Switch cartridge?" Whoa, Jeff and I don't mess around with that. We don't know what a Switch cartridge tastes like. Come on, we're good boys. Don't like a Switch cartridge right now, please.
Live testing, please.
Oh no.
You have a Switch.
I don't know if I can get it open. I want it open.
Oh, good. They child-proofed it. We're fine. We're safe now. Oh no.
Ooh, that's nasty. And that's the label, because I heard it was okay. It tastes like, you know, when you are out in the woods camping and you need to get bug spray on and you're getting the bug spray in your mouth, it gets in the mouth a little bit. It tastes like that. Yeah.
And that's intentional. Like, they put that coating on there.
Right, because they don't want Adeline Winter Grubb to fucking eat these things, which she totally would. So
incredible. All right.
She's 4. She can't help it.
Dan Park says, did you guys catch any Evo this past weekend? Lots of exciting matches, great announcements, and Yoshinoro Ono being a clown and putting the concept of Tekken Cross Street Fighter back into the ether. I missed that. The Cannon brothers received the key to the Sigety. August 6th is Evo Day. I feel like everything is really coming up fighting games recently. It just has to be excited. Yeah, I was watching here and there, and I watched quite a bit. I watched all of Street Fighter 6 finals, grand finals. That was really fun. I watched a good bit of the Tekken 7 grand finals. I even like watched some random Skullgirls tournament. I was like, I have this game. I was playing that and was having fun, even though like the game is so horny, it makes me even a little uncomfortable, but very fun game. But yeah, like fighting games are clearly doing really well right now. I'm very excited that the Killer Instinct game on Xbox is getting a new patch. I want to go back and play that because the people who really like fighting games are big like evangelists for that Killer Instinct game. So I want to play that. I hope maybe a sequel is coming. I hope it means there's going to be even more stuff coming. Tekken 8 looks good. Mortal Kombat 1 looks good. Reptile looks awesome. Yeah, I think it's a good time to be a fighting game fan.
Yep, I didn't have any time for Evo, but yep, I'm excited I'm having fun playing through the story modes of Mortal Kombat, and that's like my fighting game right now, so that's good.
I hope that Capcom really took notice of how excited people still were for Marvel versus Capcom at this show. Like some of the people watching the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, well, yeah. you know, some people were even saying, like, look, you can't get Marvel, just make Capcom versus Capcom or whatever you want to do, but make one of those.
Yeah,
I kind of agree. Like, I don't even need like Wolverine and Spider-Man anymore. If you want to put even more Mega Man characters in it instead, more Resident Evil characters, that's actually better for me.
Mm-hmm.
More Darkstalker characters, all that stuff. Put some Power Stone people in there. I would actually really like that. Maybe, call something out. Don't put the versus name in there so you don't make some people upset. Yeah. But just a Capcom fighter again, I'd be really
that would be cool.
About.
But I mean, I think that there's also like other if they did like Capcom versus Sega and got like all the fighters Mega Mix characters in there and stuff, they could do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
No one asked you, Christian. Get back in your hole.
Sorry. I muted myself. Didn't realize. My bad.
I was wondering why there was these little little comments from you here and there.
Oh yeah, sure, yes, that's
Is that
right.
what you do when you're on mute? You just verbally agree with us or disagree?
I just muted him. Don't worry.
Chuck 1991 says Nintendo has a lot of ground cover with their IP. One thing they're missing is the Sad Dad cinematic Greg Miller prestige Sony game. If Nintendo were to, can you imagine having one of those instead of Pikmin 4? What? It's just that's Sad Dad to me.
Yeah,
I would be a sad dad. I'm not even a dad. Could you imagine if instead of getting a Pikmin 4, you had to play some other third person staring at a character's shoulder piece of shit where they're walking through mud and talking about how back in the day or like avoiding talking about their feelings for 10 hours until they finally have to
until they have a mental break. Yeah,
until they have to kill a dictator or a rapist or something. Yeah, sounds like a
I
good
never
time.
learned to read.
Can you imagine?
We get it.
Can you imagine? Anyways, if Nintendo were to repurpose an IP for this style game, what would make the best choice? I'm going Star Fox's James McCloud would make a great sad dad. Yeah, that's there. I bet Captain Falcon has daddy issues.
Oh yeah, for sure. Isn't one of the other racers his dad or something like that? Or
is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know. I know very little about F-Zero lore. I did not watch the anime.
Yeah, well, that's your loss. Yeah, sure. James McCloud, that's great. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think you're actually onto it right there, Chuck. Conquistador says, "Dear fellow Pictators, Pictators, precious. I have a Crimed DS, a Crime 3DS, a Retroid Pocket 2, and a Steam Deck cornucopia of handheld joy, and yet I find myself slightly upset with the pace of NSO. What's wrong with me? I know.
Yep.
Like I was like excited. Yeah, finally Pokemon TGC on Game Boy Color. I could play that whenever. I honestly though just really like having it on my Switch. I like seeing it added to my little library, and I like going through and organizing it and finding a place for it. And that, more than anything, is what's going to get me excited to do that. Oh, what game is that on there?
Yeah, so it's my Steam Deck for audio listeners, and this is what I started earlier tonight. For some unfathomable reason, Golden Sun. I'm just like,
now's when you're gonna play Golden Sun, huh?
Yeah, I got sick of waiting, so I'm just like, I'm gonna turn on Golden Sun. I just feel like playing some of that. So, like, that's confirmed to be coming. It's still nowhere to be seen. God, the pace for Nintendo Switch Online actually has gotten super frustrating at this point, because a lot of the stuff we're still waiting for was announced almost a year ago. So
right, but we finally got Pokemon Stadium 2. We still don't have like
Mario Party 3, Side Bike 64, 1080 snowboarding, all announced.
Come on.
So I get, like, they're probably going to go through the end of this year with those, right? We'll get the 9, 10, 11. So then December won't have anything, but we'll probably get a direct in September, and they hopefully will announce a new batch. At that point, I'm like, I don't even want to hear it. Just at that point, just keep it and surprise me, because I'm sick of looking forward to these things.
Don't tell me that I'm going to get to play 1080 snowboarding at some point and actually
and then take a year.
10 months from now. It's insane.
That's fucking insane. It's insane. Stupid.
Redfish says, "What up, Mike? The Love Boat Minotti." I still have to watch the Love Boat. And Jeff, the Bang Bus Grubb. Wow.
I still have to watch the Bang Bus.
Yeah, right. You haven't seen every episode. Pikmin 4 is a bona fide masterpiece, since 4 is the logical conclusion of a lot of elements introduced in 1 and 2. Where do you see the series going for Pikmin 5? Maybe come Pikmin 5 time on Switch 2, you can have it be one big map, because that does seem to be the next logical point for Pikmin, right?
Right. You kind of make the world a little Metroidvania-y, or Zelda. I guess at that point, it kind of maybe feel more and more Zelda-y, but yeah, the world keeps expanding, and they like being able to move your home base quickly in this game was a cool thing, and just to bring that along, that'll be fine. I wouldn't mind the idea of like maybe changing up the settings significantly, although they've done the little people in a big world here on Earth, most likely, for all these games, and it's actually always been fantastic, and I always love that. But I wouldn't mind, it's like, oh, we're gonna go back to our home planet and take the Pikmin with us.
Yeah,
and
I would kind of like if they actually went full sci-fi on one.
Right, exactly. And like we like have to see how like the Pikmin like change their world or whatever, and like maybe they get in a little bit of a militarized sort of zone with the Pikmin or something like that. They won't do that stuff, but I think that could be cool.
So you want the Panic on Funkotron sequel?
That's
like
exactly what I was trying to say.
Earl route.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
I get it. Jump Matt says, "Hey gents, how will you balance playing Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Spider-Man 2, which come out the same day, assuming you don't receive advanced review codes?"
Yeah, this one's easy, because we probably will get advanced reviews codes for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll get Wonder the day it comes out.
Spider-Man 2 is so weird to me, because I have to remind myself that I really liked this last Spider-Man game and Miles Morales, so I should be excited for this, and yet I'm kind of having a hard time being excited for it.
You know what's happened with me is I realized I actually don't care about Venom all that much.
I never have. Yeah.
It's like it's like in the 90s and the 2000s. It's like I know I'm supposed to think he's cool, so I think he's cool. And the black suit Spider-Man, it's like, yeah, you see an image of that looks okay, and then I don't know. I just don't give a shit about Venom actually anymore. And so that being one of the central things here, it's like, yeah, you're still going to be Spider-Man. That's definitely going to be fun. So, but the way I'm going to balance it, and let's say I got both on the same day, I would probably actually still prioritize Wonder, because that feels even a little bit fresher to me in a lot of ways, because we haven't had a new 2D Mario in a really long time, and I love Mario. So I'll probably play through that first and then immediately get to Spider-Man 2 after that.
Man, I'm just so with you with everything you're saying about Venom. Like, they always dangle it in front of us like this trump card. Like, you may be in the next one. Venom will be there.
Yeah, maybe Spider-Man
like,
3, the movie actually like spoiled it a little bit, because it's like that was the dumbest version of Venom, or where they're like,
awful.
The symbiote suit. Like, how does Peter Parker get the symbiote suit? It lands next to him. It comes from space and lands on the ground next to him.
Incredible.
It's like incredible. She has a friend who's an astronaut, but it just lands next to him. It's good.
Yeah,
stuff.
They set that whole thing up. There's a character's an astronaut. Like, nah, we don't have time for that.
Fuck that. Yeah, what a dumb movie.
Just incredible. Couldn't even be like, oh, look, we're wheeling in some asteroids from space into the museum in New York or something. No, it has to land next to him. God, yeah, Venom.
What was the thing? I do have to play Sonic before Mario Wonder, don't I?
Yeah. What? Why did you? Oh, because you
it's like
something
some poll on Twitter. That's right. God, I'm a dumbass. All right, but yeah, okay. Guess I'll play Superstars.
All right. And then Velocity Prime says, "Dear Beef and Cheddar Boys, what creature from the Pikmin series would you eat, including Pikmin, and how would you cook it?" I mean, there's the one that is just a crab. Don't tell Addie this, but yes, I would absolutely eat that crab for sure. That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. I think the bulb orbs actually do look kind of appetizing sometimes because they look like big mushrooms. So
just like you want to eat their giant butts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to get those heinies. Let me eat that heiny.
Yeah. Tokyo Game Life says, "Hi guys, I live in Japan." I would have guessed that, and was curious how much Cubivore is over here. After doing some research, some searching, I found it in box for $22. Do any of you? Well, look, because that game was not rare there like it is here. It was published by Nintendo, and they probably had made quite a few of those. But that I still find this upsetting. Do any of you have Japanese versions of games in your collection? You'd probably save some money importing games from Japan than buying the US version. Oh yeah, and like people recommend that a lot, especially for Saturn games, because the Saturns did so much better in Japan than it is. But I kind of want the US versions.
I think the whole point of collecting these kinds of things is like you want the thing you had. I mean, and you want the version of it that you would have had at the time.
Now, I do have a few Japanese GameCube games. They're around somewhere. I haven't seen them a little bit because I had a Japanese GameCube. But the only games I ever had for that were Luigi's Mansion and Super Monkey Ball because they're launch games. Then I got Mario's Sunshine on there. That's actually how I played it back in the day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I think I actually had Soul Calibur 2 on there also for some reason.
I just like Donkey Konga from Japan.
Oh really?
And I got the the GameCube loader disc with it, so I could play it on my American one.
Yeah, I think I convinced myself it would be very easy to mod a GameCube if I bought a Japanese one to play US games, and that was a lie. It wasn't easy. I had to buy a US one too. Glowworm says, "Hello, Jeff, Baby Grunt, Grubb, and Mike. I was in the pool Minotti. Do you think 2023 will surpass 2017 as the best year for first-party Switch software? I know Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey will be hard to beat, but with Tears of the Kingdom and Pikmin 4 both surpassing high expectations, and Mario Wonder still to come, it seems like it has a shot. It has a shot, not having, I guess, like you kind of have another Mario game. We have to see how good Wonder is.
Yeah.
Is Wonder just like, oh, that's nice? Like they finally made a pretty decent one of those. Or if we're coming away from that, like, whoa, what? This is like so much better than I was even expecting. This is so good. That'll help. I like Mario Odyssey a lot, though. That might always kind of till 2017, at least in terms of Switch releases. But Pikmin 4 hitting like this has certainly helped a lot for Switch this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to beat 2017. So I think even if Wonder's its best version of itself, but it'll be close. And it'll just be awesome that the system had such like really, really good years.
It's had a lot of good years.
With all the other like very good years behind it.
Shoji Kodo says, "Hey there, Goomba guys. What Nintendo IPs would you like to see as a Broadway musical?" Well, Mario would be an obvious answer. I think Captain Toad could be total chaos and hilarity that just might work well in that setting. Star Tropics, the musical, I think it'd be fun. It could have singing dolphins in it, right? That's good.
I would like maybe a Mario sports game or like the Mario baseball or something where like they're singing
like Damn Yankees.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
yeah, something like that.
Be fun.
That could be good.
I'll say for you, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball musical.
Clearly, obviously, that would be very good. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, Pikmin would actually be a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I would like that.
Duck Sauce says, "Hey there, hey Jeff, Toasty Grubb, and Mike, Physically Angry Minotti. Which Nintendo character would you add as a guest fighter to Mortal Kombat 1, and what would their fatality be?" I would have. God, somebody brought this up, and now I forget his name, but the bad guy from Eternal Darkness, who just looks like a Roman centurion, that would actually be a good fit. Maybe I'm supposed to say something funnier than that, but if he had a fatality too, where he like creates his portal and summons one of those three elder gods, whatever, to just annihilate the person, that would actually be really cool. But you know, as a joke, just Yoshi, but like a mod.
Oh yeah, I was
where
gonna say
reptile
Yoshi
turns
too.
into Yoshi instead of like the real reptile, and they still have the fatality where you just have to digest the person and spit them out. That'd be fun.
I was gonna say Yoshi, so I'll go with Samus, and just
Just
all.
wanted to have a game where Samus will actually smash your face off. Right?
Yes, exactly, and her guns are actually going to melt your body parts and limbs and stuff. So yeah.
Dugan says, if you're ever in Rochester, New York, you need to come visit in Strong Museum of Play. The new gaming expansion added 3 major rooms that are all love letters to the industry. One room is dedicated to influential games. Right now, it's Age of Empires. Ooh, another large room covers the history of the video game industry and Hall of Fame. And finally, Level Up, where you create an avatar and navigate AR Playroom with micro games that break down game mechanics and periodic table design elements. There's a barcode hotel right next door to Museum 2, which would be a cool spot for a Game S meetup. Yeah, this looks awesome.
Yeah, there's a picture
a
of Jerry
giant Donkey
Lawson, a
Kong
giant Donkey
machine.
Kong. Yeah, I do remember this is the museum that does do the Hall of Fame. So I've written about this before, but man, this place looks great. I like to go skiing in New York, go snowboarding anyhow. And I wonder how close that is to Rochester, New York. I might look into that. That could be fun.
Yeah, when we're going to Seattle, who knows how much time we have for extra activities. There's a pop culture museum there that did have some video game stuff when I was there. Not a ton, but some.
Is it the one that was the museum? Like it's called something different now, but the like sci-fi museum.
Right next. Yeah, it's right next to the Space Needle.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been there before. I really liked it.
I really liked it too. Big Tony says, "Bye dogs. I'm currently playing Octopath Traveler 2 for my backlog. God, that was this year. I'm probably 38% into this JRPG, but I'm looking at a ton of Baldur's Gate 3 videos on my feed that look like a ton of fun. What's your general rule about playing multiple games at one time? And should I try to add on Baldur's Gate 3 into my already massive backlog? Thanks. I'm usually not a fan of doing it, Big Tony, but this year,
what choice do you have?
Just had to do it. Like I am juggling so many games right now. It's us, and I never thought Baldur's Gate 3 was going to be one of them. And I mean, that's the game I played the most today. It's so much fun. It's amazing, and I love being part of the zeitgeist. That's the game to me that, and obviously, like probably not on the level of success that Elden Ring had, but it's a game that I thought like, okay, yeah, people like this, but all of a sudden, like the normal people in my life, like the people who play video games but aren't like the hardcore gamer CM, are asking me about Baldur's Gate 3, right? Similar to what happened with Elden Ring, like people I didn't.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like popping up on
it.
TikTok or something. Like if it's this popular, it must be.
Right, all the bear sex and everything, but
Sure.
yeah, so. I think a lot of people, I think it's popping off in a lot of ways. Everyone's talking about it. And like with Elden Ring, people are having FOMO. They want to play it. And I don't blame them because it's super fun. All right. Neon Genesis Evangelia Haley says, hi there. Cute couple nicknames, Jeff and Mike. If you were a Mortal Kombat character, what would your fatality be? For bonus points, you can decide each other's fatalities. Instead, P.S. I DoorDash Arby's a few nights ago because I was tired and wanted to treat myself, and they sent me the wrong order.
Oh,
it was crushing. Well, that's DoorDash's fault.
Yes. Don't
yes,
leave Arby's out of the blame there for sure. Although, man,
that is
I
terrible.
I should Grubhub some Arby's. Man, that sounds good.
I love Arby's. All right, Jeff. Let's do each other here.
Okay.
What would my fatality be?
Yeah, so if Mike was a Mortal Kombat character, his fatality would I want to listen, just bear with me, okay? It is like there's a giant like wooden pail shows up above someone, and from a distance you find a way to to tip it over, and it's just millions of rotted apples that you've all thrown, that you try to get out of your life, and you crush someone with it.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't have to crush them. Just the fact that it's touching them is bad enough.
Yeah, they just start melting.
Just start melting. Yeah, in acid goo. And
it cuts back to you, and you're like covering your mouth and like in a hazmat suit and stuff, so you're safe.
Yeah, Jeff goes over to shake your hand and like trips or something, and through a series of incidents, murders you violently.
Yeah, I'm the Mr. Magoo of Mortal Kombat. I've always wanted to be
Magoo that. Fatality.
Yes, that's brilliant. Yes.
Screaming Man, it says, "Hey Jeff, holy, constantly falling to the abyss, Batgrub, Grubb." Or Batman, Grubb and Mike and Justice totally came out first before Mortal Kombat 9. Look, you don't have to bring up the things that are keeping me up at night. I know you guys do Mount Rushmores of games aside, but really quick, what do you think the Mount Rushmore of Nintendo regular enemies are? Here's my proposed Mount Rushmore: Goombas, Octoroks, Metroids, and Bulborbs. I mean, I'm just pretty good. I'm trying to think if like we're missing something here.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a case to be made that maybe Koopas should just also be there, but I get it. It's like, but Mount Rushmore, I do feel like you kind of have to have Koopas and Goombas. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
like Koopas are the one
Bulborbs.
I would like try to like find a way to bring it in.
I do like Metroids a lot though.
Yeah, Metroids probably does belong up there. Bulborbs probably maybe just sneaks in at this point.
Yeah, I like a Shy Guy so much too.
Yeah.
Love a Shy Guy. I guess can't do a Mario.
So we have Mario, Zelda, Metroid, and Pikmin. It does feel like, is there like an obvious enemy from another very popular?
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what other like
Fire Emblem doesn't have anything that's obvious.
Yeah, it's just it's just a human.
Yeah.
It's just a dude, just a casualty of war.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
Pokemon has just Pokemon. Like, you know,
can we get away with the duck from Duck Hunt?
I don't think ducks are enemies.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I mean. I don't think so either.
Kind
Yeah.
of victims
Yeah.
in there. I think he's got it right.
Yeah, I think so,
actually.
too.
Vision says, "Hey, Backrub and Pikminati." Look it. I've seen people assume that Metroid Prime 4 will be a launch game for the new hardware.
Yeah.
I would love that, but do you see Nintendo launching the next console with the series that was pretty much dormant through the 2010s and only reviewed recently with Dread and Prime Remastered? I love Metroid, but would they trust it to sell systems the way Mario and Zelda do? Oh, to be clear, I don't think anybody thinks it would be
Yes.
the launch game.
Or
There will be a Mario.
the system seller. Like they have a spectrum of games at launch,
Yeah.
and it could be among those. But I still think that game comes out on a Switch in some form, might be cross-gen, but it's definitely still a Switch game.
Metroid Prime 3 was a launch game for the Wii, right?
Boy, that sounds familiar, but I don't know. No, I feel like I would have played it if it was.
No, it wasn't. Okay, good. I'm glad I wasn't certain about that. It was launch window. It was August. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah. I guess we ever had a Metroid launch game before. Aside from the First Hunt demo thing that came with
Right.
PS.
Yes, the God, I
Right.
did play a lot of that.
And then it was pretty fun. All right. Evening, Jeff plays Mortal Kombat 9 for the plot. And Mike, the only person who thinks Hollow Knight is good, Minotti, stop. Just stop. You guys are just insane. You guys, like I just can't believe like my friends who love the Metroidvania, Castlevania games
And love
here's
and support
just
you.
basically that. Do you? Jeff, do you have any response to the rumors that you are currently misusing the Patreon money to purchase several cameos from popular celebrities saying Crash Bandicoot is bad?
Listen, I don't see any evidence presented. There's no receipts, so I don't feel any need to even dignify this with the response.
Bet JC says, "Hey dogs, what's this year's biggest gaming fail? Maybe a game that was going to be good, that was bad, or just a big fail. And a game, it's Redfall. Is
Yeah.
that Prime Pass where I can talk about Redfall when people knock a bit like weird, like, why are you being mean to Redfall? The CEO of Microsoft had to apologize for Redfall. He had to do like the Oprah style, like show up on a like talk show and apologize. The game was so bad.
This might not be the spirit of it because I only just played it this year, but Hollow Knight, I think it's
Shut the fuck up, you piece of human garbage.
To keep it in Nintendo, even though I really like it, I think Fire Emblem Engage should be one of those games that is like, here's why this is one of the best years ever for the Switch. And I think if you were to try to include that game in that conversation, it would only be held against the Switch for this year. And I think that's kind of a bummer.
Hey, look, I mean, it's the sequel to Three Houses, which was a big deal, and this game's selling worse than it, even though there's a lot more Switches. That's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
It probably didn't do what it should have, and I think they miscalculated with going that direction. I won't say the words because sometimes people get mad about that, but you know what direction I'm talking about that it went in. All right. And then Jat Bing says, "Hello, Nintendogs. I recently beat this cute indie game called Venba, which resonated with me as someone who also had immigrant parents who moved from India to Canada. The game was very cute. Didn't use the word cozy, and only 1.5 to 2 hours. What's a very short game you enjoyed? Well, a very short game I enjoyed is Kiwi 64.
Hell yeah, good answer. That's a fantastic game.
Yeah, that's a very short game.
It's like 80 minutes, 90 minutes to beat that game or something like that. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
it's that's fantastic. A short hike is one I go back to all the time. I'll play that. That game's like 45 minutes, I think, for me at this point. But I will play that game constantly, probably for the rest of my life. I love a short hike. It's really, truly one of my favorites. Also, I am going to play Venba, so look out for that.
Yeah, people have been saying good things about it. Slay McAwesome says, "Dear Mike, Hollow Knight is the best Metroidvania ever created." I didn't say that, but it's definitely in the top 5. Minotti and Jeff, Spoon Heaven fucking. If you could create a new kind of Pikmin, which power would you give it, and what color would it be? Also, our Pikmin meeps. Pikmin are meeps. We covered this. I would make the shit Pikmin. They'd be brown. They would smell real bad, so the animals would be afraid of them. They'd run away. So yes, I'd make the poop Pikmin, the poop men.
I'm upset because you stole my answer. I would make an orange Pikmin, and they would be able to eat the spice, or be able to get the spicy foods that none of the other Pikmin could touch without getting like hurt. And then if a enemy ate it, they would get bad. They would get the shits. So shit involved in both answers. There you go.
Octo asks, which one of you is Fred Flintstone? Oh, that reminds me. Octo sent a message about Columbus. He's a big Columbo fan. He's very excited.
His Columbo video is awesome. Yeah.
Which one of you is Fred Flintstone and which one of you is Barney Rubble? Mike is short like Barney. Wow, but it's also quick to anger like Fred. Wow. I guess I'm asking, is Mike the Vegeta to Jeff's Goku? Cheers.
I think I'm definitely Fred, and I think you're definitely Barney.
Yeah, I think I have more Barney Rubble. I'm very, I don't know why I'm touched. I am Barney. I like Barney Rubble. That's a good character.
Oh,
Barney
absolutely.
Rubble,
one of the
best. He's a chuckle fuck in the best way possible.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he's just he's easygoing. Yeah, absolutely. Well, then you're not easygoing, but.
Oh, but then that episode where like him and Betty, excuse me, get Bam Bam because they're sad they can't have kids for whatever reason. Oh, it's so cute. Nick Turbo says, "Hey dogs, how was the weekend? I've been dealing with COVID, but I did finally beat Tears of the Kingdom after 140 hours. So mine had its up and downs. I hope you feel better, Nick. If you had to choose between the next Switch having an OLED screen and having an SSD, which one would you pick? Assume neither increases the price of the unit."
SSD.
Yeah, I guess SSD. I'm
at
gonna
least
miss the OLED.
fast storage, because people like pointed out like hmmmmm, which is what I think that's right. Which is what is in the Steam Deck if you get like the flash version of it. And it's basically a flash card. So if you insert it in your Steam Deck, like, and that's been pretty fast. But there's this new UFS that like replaces it, and it's much faster. And if that's like close enough to an SSD, I'll take it like as an SSD equivalent. But basically, fast storage is my answer. But man, would really like both. I would really like both.
And again, hope you feel better, Nick.
Yeah, for sure, man.
CyberRest says, "Dear Peros, what Nintendo game is Blight Club worthy, and why isn't it Super Metroid?" They blacked out the in it part for a second there, but it isn't. I'm not sure. Like, has Nintendo ever made a 3 or 4 out of 10 game? Like, you feel like they must have. This isn't really a 3 or 4 out of 10 game, but I sure would be miserable if I was forced to play Sticker Star. I would rather play a real Blight Club game than be forced to play Sticker Star.
Sticker Star is just miserable and boring.
It's just so bland and
God,
boring.
I reviewed that game and just hated it. And I only gave it a 6 out of 10. It should have been lower.
Yeah, Sean's right. If you count like the Zelda CDI games, which we can debate how Nintendo-y those are. Sure, there are those. Like there's games people don't like that, Hey Pikmin, speaking of that, where people don't like that. Or like I know one of those Yoshi games for like the DS or whatever people really didn't like. But I really need them like super bad, Blight Club bad, like the shit we're dealing with in RoboCop or Batman Dark Tomorrow. Nintendo would maybe like have bad ideas that just don't really manifest into a game as good as it should be. I don't think they're going to have those inherent kind of design and just perform just technical issues, right?
Yeah.
Maybe everybody's 1-2 Switch. Yeah, that's right.
What is My Pokemon Ranch? What is that? That sounds pretty bad.
Just nothing. Probably just a nothing who's what's it boring thing.
And that's the biggest problem with like that's the worst kind of Nintendo games they're just nothing, and like they feel like a waste of time, but they're not actively harmful.
Wonka says, "Hey Jeff and this week's co-host, we joke about the Nintendo 64 being mid, but why are there no good 2D games on it? Those tend to have aged better, and is maybe why when I think of the Nintendo 64, I just think of foggy, soupy-looking visuals. I mean, there were a couple. There was Yoshi's Story and freaking Mischief Makers, which was great. And they were good, and they should have made more, but everybody was 3D crazy. Especially, think about it. What's the first big Nintendo 64 game? It's Mario 64. Everybody's chasing that high. The system was kind of made for Mario 64, so it was good at doing those kinds of games. I mean, PlayStation didn't have a huge depth of 2D games either. There were just so many PlayStation games that it looks like, oh yeah, well they have more, and they definitely had cool stuff like your even though it's more 2.5D, a lot of 2.5D stuff like Klonoa, or your pure 2D things like Symphony of the Night, just stuff in between like Tomba and whatnot. But yeah,
I think if everyone had it to do over again, I think we would have got a lot more 2D games on everything back then. Because I think people would have realized, we don't have to go so hard away from 3D. But at the time, it was the right choice because that's what was selling.
Yeah, we had Kirby 64 is a 2D game, which was actually kind of weird to me at that time. Again, I've been before how long I had to wait for a 3D Kirby game, but it was worth it.
Worth it.
Link says, hello, Mike, Switch to Minotti, and Jeff Switch TOO Grubb. You have an over-under of 2.5 for the number of games besides Ring Fit to be released that officially use the Rincon. Do you take the over or under? I take the under.
Yeah, right, because we're at 1 right now, right? There is no other game.
We'll get a sequel for Switch 2 that'll probably still use that thing, and that'll be it. Then by then, they'll have to do something new or make a new Rincon if they want to make a third one or what have you.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Teriyaki Blue says, first time Nintendog here, Wolf Wolf. Thank you, Teriyaki.
Hey,
hello.
Shout out.
Last week's 1997 Game of the Year reminded me of the villain of Diddy Kong Racing was a pig wizard from space, appropriately named Whiz Pig. Are there any other one-off villains you wish Nintendo would bring back?
Wart.
Smithy.
Oh,
Wart.
Smithy, yeah.
Wart was great.
Yeah.
I'm a big Smithy fan.
Smithy, Wart, Mauser, like these are good Smash Brothers characters. Like these are all that if all of them showed up in Smash Brothers, I would be very excited.
Yeah, I bet there's some other good answers here. I mean, I know he's only a one-off because it was recently, but I liked Razorbeak a lot in Metroid Prime.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome too.
I thought that was a very, very fun character there. But yeah, I think those are some pretty good answers there. Pius Augustus, that's the guy from Eternal Darkness. Just put Pius Augustus in a new game and put him in the next Mario game. Get to jump on his head 3 times, whatever. Yeah. Okay, next one here is from Isaac Clark, who says, no question this week, boys, just love and appreciation for the Beef and Cheddar gang. Thank you, Isaac. DMC depressed me crying. Hello, short hair Zelda is sexier because I can keep her hair in a bag. Minotti. Wow. And Jeff, reptilian reptile is Gexy or Grubb.
Oh, that's just true.
What happened to the rest of the Nintendogs, and how are you two the only ones left? We ate them.
Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, well, we also wear them. Yes.
We ate them and wear them.
The important thing is that we killed them.
Yes.
And now it's just us.
Yeah. Eventually one of us will kill the other one, but we're building up to that. That'll be the season finale.
A lot of tension. JD Camp says, hey, Jeff, not the Mikey Grubb, and Mike, I'm the Mikey, gotta love me. Minotti, hell yeah. Going to next level pinball this weekend. What pinball game should I play first? 24 The Flintstones. Sorry, Mike, there's no Love Boat Machine, but they do have a Gilligan's Island pinball machine. Oh, come on. It's got to be Flintstones. That's got to be a fun board. All the stupid rock theme shit you can do.
It's got to be 24.
Come on.
Like fucking Jack Bauer saying out of a terrible pinball system system saying, I need a hacksaw. Come on, let's go.
I bet there's like a ramp for the pinball that makes it look like it's going down. That dinosaur's like back and tail, like Fred does when he's done with work. Come on! All right,
you get through the 3 little like alleys at the top, and then the nuclear bomb goes off. Like, come on!
All right, JD Camp. I'm sorry that has to come to this, but you're basically picking between me and Jeff.
Yep.
You're picking your favorite.
You report to us.
24
Flintstones. You tell us what you do. Yep.
That's right.
I want to hear. Don't you lie to me.
Drewman says Nintendogs of the further I want to specify further FURTHER.
Yes, you did not misspeak.
And not anything that might sound like a German ruler of any kind. Hypothetical question here.
I thought you were upset that it's like didn't say future.
Oh, is that what they were going for?
Probably,
I see.
but it definitely does not say Führer. Yes,
I was
exactly.
just worried that it sounded like that.
Okay.
Let's say Nintendo, this is hypothetical. Let's say Nintendo does not figure out backwards compatibility for the Switch 2. Would it impact the way you purchase Nintendo software that generation? I myself would give up entirely on a digital library and stick to physical only for Nintendo's platform.
Why would that make a difference, though?
Yeah, right.
I don't get why like digital versus physical would matter for not figuring out backwards compatibility.
I guess like there's this. I guess you're hoping if you buy digital games, it'll be easier for them to be backwards compatible. But I'm not really thinking about that necessarily when I'm getting digital games. It is mostly just about me wanting these games on that system right now in the easiest way possible. But either way, I think it's gonna be a moot point. They're gonna figure that out.
Yeah, I guess maybe like the thinking is eventually you won't be able to re-download some of those games, but I just get a big enough SD card and I have everything on my system. So, yeah, it could affect me a little bit in terms of indie games where it's like some of those games I'm going to want to go back to, and I don't want to go get my Switch out again, and I don't want to go get my Switch 2 out again. So, I would probably rethink that, and I would probably just start getting all those on a Steam Deck or Steam Deck equivalent going forward.
Edward says, do you all anticipate Nintendo to utilize Unreal Engine 4 more often for future titles? Pikmin 4 seems to have little performance issues and looks great, ignoring the load times. Excuse me. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to move to Unreal Engine 5 real fast here because we're starting to get Unreal Engine 5 games out there, and Remnant 2 looks really good and has a few issues, but most of those issues seem to be, it's not anything more than a lot of other games. So it seems like a lot of those kinks have been ironed out, and I expect them to move on here real quick. I think that they will use Unreal Engine a lot going forward.
The Yakuza Wolf 5 says, hey, real gamer Grubb and fake gamer Minotti. Wow. With Rockstar bringing Red Dead Redemption to Switch at $50, lol, and saying it's commercially accurate, lol, can we say Rockstar is the worst when it comes to playing their old games on new hardware, or does that title belong to a company like Nintendo or Sony? I mean, Nintendo did a good job with its ports this generation, at least. Sony... I'm so annoyed that Sony thinks that cloud solution for PlayStation 3 is good enough, because it just isn't for me. But PlayStation 3 is a hard problem to solve, so I do at least get that. I don't know. Rockstar seems especially egregious about this stuff at the moment.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the best, and yeah, I think they're not completely terrible though, because they could have just said no to Microsoft doing the backward compatible stuff with Red Dead Redemption. So they could have been selling this game for $50 on 3 platforms instead of just letting you buy the $20 Game of the Year edition of Red Dead Redemption that you can get on Xbox right now, still to this day. So, yeah.
Next one here is from Fudsack, who asks which Pikmin tastes best.
Probably
Purple.
still the rock Pikmin. I bet they taste like salt.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like salt. You've solved it. JK Noir says, could you speculate on the likely reason, business or otherwise, that we haven't gotten at least the red, blue, yellow Pokemon games on NSO yet? Feels decidedly old Nintendo.
Because they're going to sell them to you.
They're going to sell those. They want you to pay extra for those.
Yeah.
And they're going to do some small things to them, probably to make them work better with whatever Pokemon Bank thing they have these days. I don't even know. And there you go. Sucks. I'm glad, at least in my part, I don't need to play the original Pokemon Red or Blue right now, so whatever. But
yeah, I would probably just go to Let's Go right now if I wanted to do that. I would just go play Let's Go Pikachu or whatever.
Yeah. Miss Fio says, "Hey Mike, V Max Minotti, and Jeff Gigantamax Grubb. Am I crazy to think Rockstar's worst era was the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation, financially speaking? Other than GTA 4, Red Dead Redemption /Zombie, which I'm sure they didn't expect that game to do as well as it did, and transitionally GTA 5. I believe every other release of Rockstar brand product was an expensive dud commercially. GTA 4 Story DLC, Midnight Club LA, Max Payne 3, LA Noire, and Beta Raider. Maybe Rockstar is reluctant about this period, and by extension, Red Dead Redemption 1. Maybe it's too worked up in spaghetti code for a PC port. I mean, LA Noire sold really well. The problem was that it was a million times more expensive than it should have been because of bad management. Max Payne 3 was definitely a disappointment. I don't think it caused a dent in their Grand Theft Auto money.
We can look at like what Rockstar does today versus what they did then. Back then, they released a game every single year. Once a year, they had a game. And they did that throughout that generation and well into the next one for a little bit. And then Grand Theft Auto, or maybe not into the next generation, but Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and they that had online, and that just crushed, and they have not released a game since. So, well, other than Red Dead Redemption 2, they had one game since, but they've not done one game a year or anything close to that. And so I think they're much happier with this live service model than they are with anything they used to do.
I think Turbo's right. What about table tennis?
Yeah, table tennis. That's gonna pay the bills.
Probably was cheap. Jedi Moss says, has the Pikmin 4 ultimately benefited on being on an actual successful platform instead of being stuck on the Wii U or GameCube? I mean, sure. I mean, you know, we saw Pikmin 3 Deluxe benefited from that. It did way better than the Wii U version. Wonder how those Pikmin 1 and 2 new play controls did on Wii.
I do see a lot of people like referencing them and like posting content from them and stuff. So seems like they did okay. I think, I mean, obviously that helps, but I think it's just that the general sentiment around Nintendo right now helps. So when Nintendo's like, we are going to put a bunch of money into advertising Pikmin 4, at least in Japan, and it really, really paid off because people like playing Switch games right now. So yeah, all that stuff helps a game like Pikmin.
All right, that's it for now. Jeff, why don't we take another break? We'll come back. We got some more super chats. We'll talk a little bit more about liking Pikmin. I don't know. Maybe you played something else that'll surprise me. I guess you've been playing Golden Sun. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but we'll see. BRB. Hi, Nick. All right, I will be right back.
Okay.
Hi, Nick. How's it going? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope you're having a good night. Mike's going to use the little boy's room.
Okay. This little boy.
Yeah.
Basically gonna piss on his backyard like a fucking animal.
He might do that. Yeah, I don't know. These
Look
Pokemon
posed.
Presents. There's a heart. We're like socks at
Posed.
best. What's that mean? Feels like I don't love you anymore. Nick, I'm a busy man. I don't even love myself. I don't know.
I'm amazed you don't hate yourself.
Let's see, do I have a missed message from you somewhere else? Listen, this is on you. I'm blaming you for this one, Nick.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good move. Just gaslight him. That's what I always say.
This is a healthy relationship.
I don't know. I'll see you at Christmas for sure. Probably see you before then. But boy, I'm busy. I don't have time to do anything. I like I try to even like I was playing Pikmin 4. I'm like, I got a good pace, and then Mike's like way past me now. I'm like, God damn it! I can't even keep up with the stuff I do. I am
He's
really
a
into.
magician.
Can't finish Pikmin. Can't finish Tears of the
I'm
Kingdom.
gonna finish. I did finish Pikmin. I got credits.
Oh, what the fuck, man!
Well, but you're not done. You're not done when you get credits in that game. You got to keep playing. So
yeah.
Yep.
You've
So I'm still playing that too.
Got your ass.
Yep. And then I don't know.
You done messed up.
And I really do want to put time into Baldur's Gate 3. But that just seems so impossible.
You're gonna play 3,000 hours of that game to get credits. I don't know. Those games are long.
Yeah. I mean, yes, that seems very, very long.
Long. Just like the first playthrough. Not even like if you want to do like.
Oh yeah, let's get the
See
likes to over
most of
100
stuff.
before Mike gets back. And
Oh
Starfield.
yeah. I forgot.
Jesus.
Oh no, yeah, I gave. Like,
Hopefully Starfield is only
95?
like 2 weeks away. Hopefully I get that review code pretty soon. But even that, it's like, oh, well, I'm gonna get that. What am I gonna put? I gotta finish fucking Zelda. All right.
when you still.
Yeah, you do.
You didn't even talk
Yeah,
about
you
that
do.
too.
Get in there.
You say you wanted to check it out.
What did I say I want to check out? Oh, Remnant 2. Yes. Oh, yeah, I
Remnant 2,
really do
yeah.
want to play it, but now that's not happening. And maybe if
Hey,
it happens,
you know-
it'll happen closer to Game of the Year time.
Hit me
I thought
up.
Christian, I thought you said Red Dead 2. I was like, do you know who Jeff is?
He loves Red Dead 2. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
Talks about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Totally not controversial at all.
I got Baldur's Gate 3 on the Steam Deck now, and I think
That's a big plus for you. For
yes.
your
So
brain.
I think I might finish Pikmin 4. Immediately try to finish Zelda as well, and then in between that stuff, when I am not on the Switch, I'll get in a session, like a half-hour session to Baldur's Gate 3 here and there. and just try to do like small little stories and not worry about even imagining a world where I finish Baldur's Gate 3. Like I just want to like get some experiences with it.
Yeah,
Ooh, shit.
the Steam Deck is like perfect for the shape of your brain.
Oh,
it's like
yeah,
the
totally.
missing puzzle for it. Yeah.
Yes, it really, really is. Yeah. It's been a godsend for that stuff. I mean, that's how I played all of Elden Ring on the Steam Deck. So very, very good.
Side note, I just saw that Valve is doing the refurbished Steam Decks now.
Yeah, at a discounted price. That's a
look at
pretty
that.
good deal.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
$320 for a Steam Deck. That's not bad.
That's really,
You're
yeah.
still selling it in my country.
No, listen.
So you
Damn,
don't.
still don't. Shit.
No,
Yeah,
I got the
Argentinian
notifications.
peso.
Yeah.
The tough thing to
it's
sell.
super strong.
Oh, yeah.
No, bro, it's super strong. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
I'm not
It's got devaluated like us 50% in like a month. What are you talking about?
Oh, man. That's fantastic. That's good stuff.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine, okay?
Yeah. So Green Thumb says Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, Baldur's Gate 3. That's your order of operations. That's fair. I just, if I like sprint to the finish in Tears of the Kingdom, I could probably be finished in a day or so. Although apparently there's more to the ending than what I'm expecting, I guess, but still.
Man, you're lucky you don't like weeb shit, because I don't know how I'm gonna fit Octopath
You're
in
so
here.
fucking lucky. Yeah.
Right, Octopath like is one I was curious about, but obviously now that is way not even on the back burner. It's off the stove completely. So
Yeah, so
Every
I kinda
anime
wanna
game
play it.
is like 60 hours long. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
yeah, I'll play Mortal Kombat 1 story mode the day it comes out. Like I'll try to just get through the whole thing. We'll just do that on Giant Bomb because that's what I'm kind of setting up for with Arma Grubbin right now. So yeah, it's like frustrating that like so much of gaming this year, it's awesome to have so many good games, but so much of it's like, man, I got to figure out how to like actually approach how I'm going to play all these games, and that like takes up mental energy. But oh well, good problem to have overall. Mario RPG, Jesus. Okay.
Mike, Mike, what's MK? What was first, MK9 or MK11?
Oh, it had to be MK11,
Yeah, I think so.
right?
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, I'm ready if you want to bring it back in.
Let me take a sip of this.
Sure.
You take a sip of that.
You
I'm
get
so
it?
ready for summer to be over. No, I didn't get it.
That was even quiet.
Okay.
And we're back. Jeff, what do the super chats say?
Yeah, we got some more super chats here from a handful of our friends, including Huey F. Newton, who's back. It says, also wanted to say I love when Mike is on Game Mess Mornings because Jeff has to refer to him as a bona fide expert on things like game cartridges, Aladdin games, Invincible, and Game Boy Color. Okay, well, listen, I've never said any of those things explicitly.
I think the only time Jeff actually got mad was when I complained about Invincible for like the fifth time. In Mortal Kombat.
And I'm not even mad because but it's like, man, it's a good show. It's a good book.
That's fine.
Good, very good book.
Jeff needs me to like help him do things like not sabotage his Mortal Kombat run because he gets frustrated not being able to delete a save in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I was gonna figure it out, but I guess I was just gonna go. I was saying we were just go. We just we could have just watched it on YouTube. Is what we should have done because we were right there. All right. El Grug, will the next Switch / Nintendo console have that IR thing that's on the Joy-Con still?
Oh right.
Also, can Mike answer this question in his pack voice?
Oh yeah. Well, nobody knows that the original Switch has those in it. Why would they have to put on the Switch 2? Nobody plays on the Switch 1, don't they? And that's what that triangle.
Thank you for your input, Edit. I'm gonna say probably not, because it's like they had the IR thing on the Game Boy Color as well, and then it went away for years and years, and now maybe it'll come. I mean, they're different kinds of IR things. They are, but still. Daily Beating, I have made it a tradition of mine to lick all my physical Switch games when I first open them up. I like to tell my friends they all have unique tastes.
Which tastes the best?
Yeah.
Like, it's everybody 1-2 Switch.
Of course
tastes
it is.
Tastes like
they
horse
want
head.
kids to swallow that one to help boost the sales. They have to buy another replacement
Man,
for
somehow what you said was grosser than what I said.
it. Dr. Butthugger says, what hardware gimmick will Switch 2 have? Eye tracking, scroll wheels, scent generation. Eye tracking's actually not an insane thing. I mean, it is because if you dock at the TV, it's not going to work, or it would be much more difficult. But man, that could be kind of fun.
Like, that's what the fancy 3DS had, right?
Yeah, it had a form of eye tracking. Yes.
Yeah, that was cool. They need a smell thing though, so for my shit Pikmin that are coming.
Sure, that's going to be very important. Like we haven't had that technology for shit Pikmin up until then.
Oh, and then they could finally port at least the Earthbound ad. That the scratch and sniff. This game stinks one. We can do that
right.
at least.
That's good stuff. L Grug, will it take 10 years for a Pikmin 5 to come out? Jeff will be playing Pikmin, or will be 50 playing Pikmin 5, and Mike will forever be 29. That seems fair. Jesus Christ, why'd you have to say that?
It's all right. Better than, never playing a Pikmin.
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's going to be about like 7 years. Let's split not super fast, but not as long as last time. Mick Chicken, don't really have a question right now. Just want to show some love to the mess. Thank you so much, Mick Chicken.
Thank you.
Shout outs to you. Dean8149 says, hey guys, just wanted to say I'm impressed with how much there is to do in Pikmin 4. Having a great time collecting everything. Yeah, me too. I'm 100%ing every level before I move on. It's a good time. All right, that does it for the super chats, Mike.
Fantastic. Jeff, what have you been playing?
Well, I did start Golden Sun, and you're right, I don't have much to say about it. I just started it up. I did get in like a couple of battles, and that was always the thing for me in that game, is the cut from the top-down view into those battles, and it has like the spinning camera around the quasi sprites, quasi sort of weird fake 3D stuff, and it just I love the way it looks.
It looked so cool. I remember back then they were the best looking like pixel based turn-based battles I'd ever seen.
Yeah, and it was
really
like so
striking.
exciting that it was like on the Game Boy Advance is where you're playing. It looks as good as anything on PlayStation and all this stuff.
Yes, right.
But not much to say about it other than I still just love the way it looks. It is still all Pikmin 4. I got credits. I've continued to play, and I still can't put it down. It's still just so much fun. I am now about way behind where you are, I think, because I'm chasing down one of the other characters from a previous game, and I'm catching up.
I'm doing that too.
Okay,
but at some point, I want to still be vague about post game stuff. But there's like a different thing you can do, which is basically a mini campaign. Took me about 3.5 hours, and I actually just kind of did that all in one burst. This is after I quote unquote rolled credits.
Right.
There's still so much like main stuff to do after rolling credits. It's not like just like, oh, you could go back and 100% it. It's substantial, basically not mandatory, but practically.
But it feels like an actual part of the game. Like, yes,
right. But man, I had such a good Sunday. I was in bed pretty much all day playing Pikmin, watching Evo. I literally played through this 3.5 hour other campaign in one go, just watching people playing fighter games and doing that. It was such a good time. Again, I am shocked how much I am liking Pikmin, not just cautiously liking it, just fully on board. Pikmin 4 rules. It will be one of my top 10 games of the year. It's fantastic.
Yeah, would you recommend it to others? I think that's the real, because for me it was always I like Pikmin, and then Pikmin 2. I really like Pikmin, and Pikmin 3. Oh, I love this, and this is the one I'm cautiously recommending to people. With Pikmin 4, I'm I think most people would just straight up love this.
I think so. It's definitely easy. It's always been hard with Pikmin because you can't say, oh, well, you like X, well, then you'll probably like Pikmin, right?
Yes.
Pikmin is so different. We say it's Nintendo's take on RTS, kind of, but even that, it's not like, oh, you like StarCraft, well, you're gonna love Pikmin.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't necessarily work like that. It's a very good video game. It's a very fun video game. It does what I really honestly do like most about Nintendo games, where the kind of vibe, the aesthetics are fun and they feel even a little bit breezy, but the actual game itself is engaging as all hell.
Yep.
And there's just a ton of, that's what they mastered with Mario and Zelda. And Pikmin is just right up there in terms of capturing that. So, it's having a hard time putting it down. Really, and I'm shocked. I'm shocked about that.
One of the stickiest games of the year. Yes, it's just so easy to keep playing it, and like that, what you were saying about playing one game at a time. It's it's easy to do that on the Switch because I almost never turn off the Switch. It's almost always in sleep mode. So I power back on and it's ready to go, and I just keep playing. And it's boy, that's real nice. I'm just right back into it and getting back in the swing of things. And I, really, really like Pikmin 4. It's just, it is number 2 game of the year for me right now.
Steph Tendo just asked in a super chat, what kind of DLC could they add for Pikmin 4? I'm not sure because there's already so much.
There's a lot in there, yeah.
Like it almost feels like I'm playing all of the DLC right now.
Online Dandori battles maybe could be that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool actually.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Even if it's like the online leaderboards for the Dandori gathering battles, not the head-to-head. Like even that would be cool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it, man. I just want to play more of that, and then I do wonder what I'm doing after Pikmin 4, if I am going straight into Final Fantasy 6, or maybe I do feel guilty and try out Octopath Traveler 2 so I can talk about that. Because that's a game, if I want to talk about that for Game of the Year, I'm going to have to start playing it now.
I mean,
almost.
Realistically, you got about a week before the rest of the year happens. Because there's going to be, like, we'll eventually get codes for Starfield, but Armored Core 6 is going to be here soon.
No, it's so messed up that I thought I would get some relief in this month.
It's not going to happen.
I actually like Pikmin 4, and oops, I actually care about Baldur's Gate 3 a lot.
Yep.
It's messed up. I'm still...
Yeah.
Where's it? The Final Fantasy 16?
Right. It's like, that's why I'm like, I have to finish Tears of the Kingdom before I get Starfield.
I think you should just go and beat it, Jeff.
I'm going. I
Yeah.
decided today that I am going to do that.
Yeah,
and
you'll have fun, and you'll have a fun time.
Absolutely.
Months
I know
from
I will.
now,
Yeah.
or whenever you want you to come back and do more stuff.
I probably won't come
It's gonna
back
be great.
anytime soon. But
No, I understand that.
Yeah, but at this point, it's like the bigger risk now is I don't actually end up beating it, even though I will. I'm going to. But if these other games come along, it's like, oh, it's too many fucking slices. So, yeah, I'm going to beat it probably. As soon as I get Pikmin 4 out of the way, I'm doing that. And then the rest of the year, honestly, I don't know if I can look back again. Maybe I'll make some time for Baldur's Gate 3 here and there. But anything else that came out before, I don't know if that's going to have a chance, except for maybe in that last sprint before Game of the Year.
Right. Like, it warmed my heart that Jan is playing Ghost Trick and liking it. And boy, do I wish I could be like, Jeff should play Ghost Trick right now. I know better.
I have it. Yeah, no, it's not. Can't happen.
Of course not.
No, of course not. Not right now.
Like, I would like to play Ghost Trick again. That's not happening anytime soon. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Just an insane year. Just absolutely ridiculous.
Bonkers. Yep, it's really good. I think, and maybe that could be the thing we talk about on Game S next week. Is kind of like we'll look back at what's happened so far this year, and then kind of get ready for the rest of the year and talk about like how we're planning to attack the games that are still to come. So
right,
I like
what?
Yeah, like pick like one game that one other game that has come out that you want to kind of go back to, but other than that, I mean that's how it's going to be for me.
You get one.
You get one. Yeah, that's kind of how it feels. But
maybe
I mean,
not even
good,
if it's Octopath. Good luck.
Yeah, it's like a good problem to have, and yet it's very overwhelming. It's a lot of time to take up with video games. So yeah, you are going to play more Resident Evil 4 though. You do understand that's going to happen, but everything else is let's make it a feature on Giant Bomb. So kind of I have to. Mike
makes Jeff play something.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, totally. Well, we'll get a UPF where like, you know, Jan needs a day off, and we just got to come up with something so we can like catch up on some games that way.
Light Glove. It's like Black Glove but with good games.
Okay.
Like, I see. Okay, gotcha. All right. I don't think there was any more super chats. I think we covered all of that, right? Yep. I think we're good. So I think we can start getting out of here, everybody.
Yeah, let's do it. You want me to hit the button?
Hit that button. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with these Nintendogs today. Had a good time. We'll be back Thursday for Game of the Sides. I believe we're going to make this event, but we are going to do the Game Mess Game Club discussion for Oprah Din this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That'll be on my Twitch channel at Tokoto. It's delayed a bit for Sean's Evo shenanigans. We might have to wait even a little bit longer for Jeopardy.
Yeah, Jeopardy will happen later. But if you are waiting for like the free version, we'll probably still put that out in year on time like it normally happens.
Yeah, we can do that. Well, normally would have happened last Friday, but yeah, we can do that this Friday.
Right, exactly.
Right. That's a good idea. We'll do that.
So yeah, look out for that. It'll be coming soon. Giant Bomb's got a lot of fun stuff happening. You guys should check it out. We played some more AEW today. It's AEW for Slamma Jamma, and then he did a bunch of voices. It was good. Watch your stuff. Bye, everybody.
Fun club, man. I like saying
What's wrong?
That's the name of his faction. Oh, let's freaking go. All right, Jeff. Let's do each other here.
Okay. Okay.